Hello everybody, my name is Zeladator and welcome back to Ultimate Minecraft Polyworld episode 404. We're making a very extensive progress on here and I can't remember if I finished up all the skylight holes in the floor. Let's go investigate. I think I need to do the edges. It's looking like I've completed all of the inner areas. I still have to do around the pillars, but that can wait. So, let's go see where I last left off. Alrighty, so we're looking at here, and I guess I'll go. We'll see if I keep these. See if I keep the gardening entrance with light. Oh, that's right. I could just look at the. Oh, you know what? I don't have the. Because I don't have the pillars, I will have to go based on here. Shouldn't be too hard. Since I don't have smooth lighting on, I just have to look at the two darkest points and then plop them right next to it. Congratulations to your aunt for turning another year older. Howdy, Nasco, welcome back. I'm digging holes. Nothing new, of course, but I'm realizing I'm getting a very big refund on all this stone. This is a lot of stone I'm digging up. I indeed combined the multiple protections for my armor before 1.14.3. I should say before they were disabled. This one's not right. I did that last week or something, I think. Hello. Goodbye. Man, why are there so many slimes today? There weren't as many slimes yesterday. Whatever could have changed? Do I really need to collect their slime balls? Part of me says, no, don't bother. But there's another part that says, what about that bounce castle you're planning? Nope. Alright, close enough. I'm already at 22 slime balls. Where'd those come from? Oop. Is that it? Alright, well, the outer edges are done. So now we have to take on every single pillar. Yeah, I'm gonna have to count just how many of these areas I have. I could probably do the math. Pillars plus skylights plus outer edge divided by 2. Well, divide the outer edge by 2. Should have put in parentheses. Because that'll give me how many I need. So I guess it's more so pillars plus 2 rows. No, pillars plus 1 row. There we go. Never mind. I don't have to deal with the outer edge like that. Pillars plus 1 times skylights. That'll get me close enough estimation. And then I think add 4, because I'll still need to take care of all the corners as well. That was a server lag spike. What are we looking at? 0.9 seconds. 0.94. I really wish they had the internal server tick rate ever since release 1.3 because I want to know just how bad it was during that time. But alas, there's no way for us to verify since it was added in either 1.13 or 1.14. Chewy. Can't tell if it's starting to get dark yet or not. I don't think so. Oh no, I see some yellow glow off in the distance. I think it is starting to get dark. I'll need to go and catch some Z's. Let me just finish up this row real fast, and then we'll head out and do that. Oh, hold on, never mind, I have the bed on me. I was thinking I left the bed way back at the starting area. We'll probably have to take out, probably have to take out this tiny slime here. Why do I have a bucket on me? Oh yeah, because I was fixing the water. Alright, huzzah. You sir gotta go. As the Zella moon rises, behind where we cannot see. Yawn, I say, as if it has been a long day. It was a long yesterday doing a lot of work I wasn't expecting to do. We have bushes in the backyard that I was chopping up. It's time for them to leave the premises. And so I spent all my energy doing that, and I was expecting to rest up and then do more today. And then I was told, surprise, help out with other stuff. Boo. We'll see if anything more needs to be done today. Today is trash day, so now we kind of wait for the bins to be emptied. And then we'll get back to work at a later point. I think this is it. Just 3 more pillars I need to take care of. I was also thinking about it yesterday, but I realized I remember filling in much of this area with dirt. And now here we are. I'm going to need to dig up much of the dirt currently beneath us. Because what I'm going to be doing is basically making a giant grid line. A big old grid pattern down below. Yep. And I'll take care of all the lights in the floor. So I'll be starting that end going this way for each and every one of these. But then I'll be going right to left as well. But alas, we've completed. So we're going to do some math here. So whatever the final number ends up being, we're going to add 4 for the 4 corners. That should give us how many we're going to need. So we are looking at 1 for the sides. 5 times 9. Whip out notepad real fast. So we're looking at 5 times 9. And then plus, then we're looking at skylights. 5 times, I think it should be 10. Yes, 5 times 10. And then plus 4. So we're looking at 45 plus 50, 95 plus 4. No, hold on, sorry. 95 different areas, and then multiply that by 4. 380 plus 4. We're looking at if I did the math right, 384 redstone lamps. I'm going to take 384 divided by 64 for a stack. We're looking at exactly 6 stacks. Well, that's a nice number. I could do that. So, 6 stacks of redstone lamps. That's what we're looking at. Let's go put all this away. We're going to not take on the slime. I don't need to. So if I did the math right, and if there's not any other sort of oddball area, it should require exactly 6 stacks of redstone lamps. I'll hold on to them. Or do I even want to? I feel like I should just craft them and leave them in the chest because I'm going to be digging up a bunch of dirt. That dirt's going to steal my inventory space. I'll go track down some of the shulker boxes. Some of the dirt boxes I have. I don't think they're full. In fact, I don't even think I have much dirt after working on the dirt fish, plus filling in the area that I'm about to dig up. Because, of course, the tunnels are going to have to be... No, we're in 1.14. I could make the tunnels 1 block tall now. Oh, I have a plan. I just need a trap door. Probably 2. I should take 2. 1 for the proper entrance and 1 for a, in case I done goof. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. So, let me go find... So all that's refunded. And I'm really low on cobblestone. Same with dirt, mostly. Alright, so I need... I'll just take 3 of these. Man, I smell the chemicals. It's another house cleaning day over here would appear. Is it going to be like this every week? Alright, so shulker boxes for the dirt. And... I'll make the 6 stacks of lamps now. Howdy, Koski. Did you order the three seasons individually? I don't know if I can move these. Beds don't stack, right? No, they still don't stack. Okay, I don't know if I can touch that. We're just going to leave it there for now. New recipe unlocked. Thank you. I'm not surprised they're out of print. They've been around for many years now. Close to 20, I would assume. Over 20. And this is not nearly enough redstone dust. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to craft our first stack. This will save 4 slots. Good thing it only cost 4 and not 8. So, what we're going to do, we're going to start digging up a whole bunch of the ore. I know it started broadcasting in '99, but what about the, when was the first DVD release for season 1? What I was getting at. Redstone recipe unlocked. I'm well aware you can cook redstone ore in a furnace and get 1 ore or 1 dust. I don't know who would want to do that, but it's always been a feature. Oh, 5? So yeah, 20 years. Alright, close enough. Alright, Fortune, do your magic. In fact, here, let me take the armor off. That way I can repair the pickaxe with all of this. Probably the axe. And the shovel. Might as well repair the stuff while I can. Alright, shovel's done. And the sword. This is surprisingly not nearly as much redstone dust as I was expecting. Fortune works on redstone, right? Redstone and lapis. Maybe I just underestimated how much ore I was going to need if I wanted to get 24 stacks of dust. That's a lot of dust, but such is the requirement. Alright, so let me, huzzah. So that's 2 stacks. There's 3 stacks. Let's see, is there another stack sitting around down here? Not quite. Alrighty, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna grab another several stacks of this. In fact, here's what we're going to do. I'm just start plopping this down real fast. And we are going to free up some inventory slots. That's done, I can put the armor back on. I guess I'll leave that in there for now. Alright, close enough. Then we're gonna take 5 of these stacks and just start digging them up. I see it's nighttime, but I don't think we're gonna sleep tonight. There's probably a better way to place all this down. I'm just gonna focus on keeping it here in the warehouse. And I realized I might need to maximize my space. In fact, maybe I will take advantage of in between here. The warehouse is pretty sizable. However, there's a lot of blocks I need to place down. Even if I end up overdoing it with the redstone, I'll still be able to take advantage of it in the future. As this is all the dust I have. At least all the dust I have here. I don't know how much redstone I have in other outposts. They found biosignatures on a planet 120 light years away. I have not at all heard the news. I don't know where I would have heard that unless I would have seen something about it on Twitter. Don't know how much of Twitter would be interested though. Twitter was interested in the meteors though. One aiming for India, I believe, in however many more years. Yeah, I don't watch TV. I haven't watched TV in years. Even so, I don't know how much news I would watch. Alright, back to digging. You know, maybe, hold on, maybe I should sleep. Since I'm way over here, catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Howdy, howdy. 3 sigma is 99.7%. What technology are they using to analyze something 120 light years away? How did the information get here? I should say. Probably a better way to put it. And I don't... Maybe I should do one layer at a time. Start at the top, then work down. I'm getting flashbacks to digging up a bunch of lapis on my modded super flat survival series. I had to do the same thing with all the lapis ore I was getting. Infrared spectroscopy on the light. I can understand that. How am I doing? Oh, I'm getting there. Maybe I did overdo it, because this is already another 18 stacks here. Oops. Maybe I did only need a few extra. That's okay, because I'm still going to need all this redstone dust as dust, because we'll have a lot of wire we're going to need to lay down. Is there a frequency for how often, or I should say how frequent, such information is acquired? Do I still have pre-classic terrain in this world? Yes, I do. It's still sitting in the same area, way off near world origin. Alright, where's my glowstone? Alright, back to work. Hello, hi Audi, welcome back to the stream. And I don't, yep, I definitely overdid it on the amount of redstone I would need. With uncertainty in 1 to 2 years. Alrighty. That does indeed sound near future. And I forgot to fix the silk touch pickaxe. Whoops. Alright, let's just start tossing some of this dust. I'm not going to need this much on me. I'm going to need a lot of repeaters though, but I think all of those have already been crafted or obtained in other means. Can you believe 2020 was already 5 years ago? I remember when it happened. What a time. Everyone finally joined me in spending all that time at home. I remember 2021. UMP started later that year. 2020 to 2021 will always be a great time for me, for the reason of the world has joined me in my lifestyle, and everything went back to normal. Oh well. Well, for the most part, everything's gone back to normal since then. I will always remember fondly 2020 to 2021. I got to spend so much more time with people online. It was a great time for me. What I'm doing with all this redstone is making a lighting system for a giant warehouse store I'm working on. I wanted redstone lamps for the lighting in the floor. The big building we see off in the distance. Definitely one of the larger scale builds I've done in survival. I don't know what my largest is, since I'm not a mega build person. Nerf headquarters is getting up there, except Nerf headquarters is a lot of carving out. It's not a lot of building. This was all empty space other than the ground that I flattened. And I totally forgot the trapdoors. Whoops. Alright, we're gonna leave those there. Does the offhand not have an animation? No, it doesn't. What? So when you place an item normally, maybe that's just how it is, because it instantly goes back to your hand, but there's no hand in the offhand, so it just disappears. Is it like that with other items? Hold on, what if it's the last redstone? Has it always been like that and I never noticed? For some reason I thought the animation still plays, and then it goes down, and your hand comes back up. Huh. Alright, not important. So, I have the redstone, and I think we'll toss this into the whatchamacallit for now. Because what we need are a couple of trapdoors, and then I'll have to do some basic math getting the coordinates lined up. And we are going to start digging some tunnels. And thankfully, I'm not going to have to worry about lighting because nothing can spawn in a 1 block tall space. That's equally 1 block wide. Silverfish don't spawn naturally, except they will spawn in infested blocks. Or as they used to be called, monster egg. And I don't know why they were called monster egg. But they've been renamed on the resource pack back to what they used to be. Cobblestone monster egg, stone brick monster egg. Oh, I see all the golems going after the slime over there. Good job, Iron Golem Army. Oh, you know what? I didn't bring any repeaters. I don't know how many I'll need. How long's the warehouse again? Like 50 something blocks long or 60. Wasn't it also yesterday you mentioned watching a SpongeBob video about how he walks to work? I don't know how many torches I'll need, but I'll take some. I could just take like 4 stacks, call it a day. Hope this is enough. You know what I don't have? A lever. I want to control the lights. You know what I could do? I could make a power station. Maybe later. Maybe this will be the first thing on the power grid. Because if that's the case, we'll go from there. Howdy, welcome back to the stream. And trapdoors. Yeah, if I have a power station, that's where all this redstone stuff's coming from. Took a while to get it going on this world, but maybe since that area is clear, that's where I'll take advantage of it. I've done power stations before where, as long as there's a signal coming from there, it goes out to all the different buildings that utilize redstone for lighting. And I needed trapdoors. Oh wait, trapdoors aren't here. Those are from beta 1.6. Ah? Is that the name of the creator, or are you saying, like, Creeper Aw Man? Here they are. Here, I'll take 3. Oh, Zella rises. We'll catch some Z's. Not letting myself use normal torches. You see, do you understand just how many torches have been placed down in this world? I'm not undoing hundreds of hours of just torch placement. I don't even know how many torches there are in this world. I can't analyze it since MC Edit's not around anymore. I'm only going to have one designated redstone area, and it'll be off in this area. I said area twice. There are indeed tens of thousands of torches in this world. So many have been placed at every outpost I've done because I don't want bad guys spawning. If I don't want bad guys spawning, simple, just light it up. Even though I know I sleep most times that I'm walking around on the surface to reset the weather timer. If this was still using the regular anvil format, I'd be able to use MC Edit to analyze just how many torches there are. I could always analyze an old copy of the world, but I don't think it's worth it. I don't need to know that badly. Alright, so let's think. What is the optimal way to go about this? With each repeater extending 15 blocks, I should say repeater plus 15. How wide is this? .58 wide, so I would need only about 4 repeaters, depending on placement. 3 to 4 repeaters to get the signal across if I was going from one end to the other. I should probably start it on the right side, not the left, because if over here is going to be where I control the lights, then that side will need to be left alone. Alright, I'm thinking where the optimal placement would be. I kind of wish I brought some building blocks. I'd probably mark out this to be the main area. So in fact, maybe that is indeed what I'll do. So I'll start with primary power. Let's just say here, I guess. Nah, we'll do it here. So lamp, so this goes down. So the first wire I could run. Maybe I'll run it around here. So what is this? This is 566 and 589. I'm not building a power station. I'm setting up the redstone power just for this area. I'm using redstone lamps for lighting here in the Zelenico. Alright, so if there's going to be a lamp there, I'll probably make an access point. Oh, if the signal's going there, I should make the staircase here. It's not going to be much of a staircase, it's going to be, boop. So the question is, how far forward do I have to go? So the end of the line to make sure that the far wall is covered. Redstone power stations are always fun. I've built multiple throughout my Minecraft history, and I have all of them except one saved. Alright, so I need to go to 683, because this is the back wall. So I'm probably going to focus on powering all of this first. Because if I have my one wire, this will be able to take care of most of these. I'm also thinking about digging up the dirt here so that way I have some light. Oh well, it's about to get dark, I suppose. Where did I want the wire? Right here, so... $5.89. So this we go forward. At a very slow pace. No, I guess since if I wanted, I could just put torches down now. There's some water. Excuse me, water. I can't have you here. I'm doing stuff. I can't sprint right. Nope. All these torches are going to be removed when I need to get to the... All the torches will be removed when I place down the redstone. When I say 683, I almost wonder if I do want to just make this 2 blocks tall. Because I'm starting to think about it, realizing how slow this is going to be crawling from one end to the other. Man, there's a lot of water I covered up over here. Oi. Oop. Almost walked off of that area. Oopsies, I definitely walked off of this area. Hold on, let's see if I know how to get out of here. I might not. Because I need to place... Oh wait, hold on. Let me move these... Or I should say move this one down. Can I jump? I can jump. But that means I'd have to find an area where I cannot stand up fully. This might not be possible under standard circumstances, which means I would have to... Adunk! Well, that's convenient. This is right where this is going to be. Alright, there we go. Now we can go back to work. We're almost there. Another 20 blocks or so. Remove the repeaters. I don't need them right now. What I say, 83? Oh, that's right here. So we are going to open that up and open this up as well. Let me fill that in for now. Pick up the dirt because I need the dirt. I don't need the dirt now, but at some point I will. So now it really comes down to where all I'm going to need. What you can do with redstone and alpha is make a combination lock. Levers or buttons along with a bunch of redstone and torches, and then in the end enter the right code and it powers a iron door. Anything important? Nope. What you could do is a bunch of AND gates. although without repeaters. Oh no, you won't need repeaters for AND gates, and AND gates is just 3 torches and some redstone. If you did levers with a bunch of AND gates, that could be the thingy. That could be the combination if you wanted to make it simple. As long as all the correct levers are on, then the door opens. You could also add the extra step of if any other lever turns on, the door will not open. Other than that, that's about it, unless you like watching torches turn on and off. It doesn't become more useful until if you really want to take advantage of note blocks in beta 1.2. Otherwise, it doesn't become useful until beta 1.7 with pistons. And I didn't realize it is nighttime, so we'll catch some Z's, reset the weather timer. Alright, the question is, how far apart are these? It looks like it's every 2 blocks. We stumble upon another one of the thingies here. Every 2 blocks we reach a light. And then the corner is... we're looking at 566, and then 597 is this wall. What version are you playing? If you were playing before cows, you have cloth armor, using the cloth dropped from sheep, or 9 string to make 1 cloth. Alright, so I put the wire right here, which means I'll probably dig these up on the way back. Oh, leather horse armor. Didn't they just add... No, maybe they didn't just add. I don't know. Maybe it's trying to be special. Howdy, Paul. Welcome back. And I don't think I know where my starting point is. Let me open up these real fast. Not all of them. But if I go based on here, then it'll be 2 blocks right from the very first one. If I really wanted, I could just dig up the entire underground with dirt, but I feel like that would be a massive waste compared to everything I've done before. Okay, so this is 1 row. And then another one. I'm not working on a basement, I'm working on the redstone stuff here. Oh, you can craft leather horse armor. Oh, then why we're asking if you could not? You meant the saddles, I see. Saddles were always a loot item, so says the word of Notch. This one. Hold on, do I have to go all the way? Because I might just start putting the lamps in while I'm down here. That'll probably end up happening, so let me grab a bunch of this. In fact, yeah, I'll just take all the lamps, and then let me hold on to one of the shulker boxes as it fills up with dirt. Alright, so lamp. Oop, almost fell in. Alright, well, back to work we go. Alright, question is, which ones go all the way? I feel like it's not this one. Or this one. It'll be this one. So this one has to go until, what I say, 597. There it is. Alright, well, now I know what I'm doing. Famous last words. So it's 1, 2. And another 1, 2. I hear a noise. Then I realize I've got to pick up the dirt. Oops. So then it's the 2 here, which means this goes all the way to the wall. Oops. Only 1 block in the wall. Show us the hole in the wall, said the old TV show. I feel a sneeze coming. I wonder if I can pineapple my way out of this, though. That'd be cool. There's 4, right? Yeah. 1, 2 plus another 2. I'm trying to remember the pattern. It's very simple when looking at it as a big picture, but trying to piece it all together while down here is a different task. So then that one goes farther, which means this block. Alright, I think I know what I'm doing now. This will definitely take us a while, though. I'm already feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Underground passages like this are indeed very cool. For much of Minecraft's time, though, 10 years, in fact, you were not able to do this. It wasn't until 1.14 with proper crawling that you had the ability to walk around within 1 block tall spaces without having any problems. There was the Elytra from 1.9, but that wasn't the same. There was also swimming in 1.13. That was also not the same, though. This is when they fully supported it. One 1.13 added swimming, 1.14 added the ability to crouch and become only a block and a half tall, as well as using a trapdoor, pistons, or other natural means to become 1 block tall. But yes, when you swim in 1.13, you are a block tall, which allowed you to get into 1 block spaces underwater. I cannot reach that. There it is. Uno mas, said the Juicy Drop Pop commercial. Let's see, how far are we? We're at 626 out of 683. We're about halfway. Halfway for just this first tunnel. We're still going to have to make multiple other tunnels and connect all of these lights as well. I'm also realizing I think I'll need to go branch off left because there's this light, and then a couple blocks over there's the next one on the other side of the pillar. We'll get there when we do. For some reason, I was expecting to pick up more dirt. I really am not using all too much right now. Ian, I'm unable to help with whatever you're forgetting. Is it turning nighttime? It looks darker up there, and I don't know. Today's your one day off of Easter? You know today's still Thursday. You don't get Friday off? You get Thursday off? What is going on? My, what a school. You did forget what day it is. So that's what you were forgetting. I will say though, it does kind of feel like Friday over here. I don't know why, it just does. Dude, that's this one. Oops, did I count wrong? I did count wrong, because I go this way. There it is. I forgot I did it the first time, but not the second. Oh, you're home already, only had one class. Alright, that makes sense. I guess your break has already started, because I always considered break starts when school is over. I see the end. I see the back wall over there. Oh, we're getting close. I don't know how many more times I'll have to do this, but we'll figure it out when we get there. And yeah, it's definitely rather dark, because there's not a lot of light coming in through the surface. I don't even think baby zombies can spawn in one block area. For some reason, I feel like they still require 2 block space. If anyone knows for certain, feel free to share otherwise. I don't know if there are baby zombie farms specifically that are 1 block tall. Who would want a zombie farm, though? Do you really need so much zombie flesh? I guess that's not true, because they also drop carrots, potatoes, and iron tools. I feel like though you were better off just utilizing a regular zombie spawner though. Oh, there was one stack of lamps. I've done 1 or 2 Zomble farms, but those were utilizing the spawner, and that was intended for XP, not because it was Zombles. In fact, I think I have one on the 360 world. If I remember correctly, I have a Zomble farm and a Skellybum farm. I almost turned it into a drown farm because when 1.13 happened, they changed fluid mechanics, which meant that the Zombles didn't swim anymore, so they would just drown. And then I decided, no, I'll just use the bubble columns and all this stuff, and so I upgraded the Zomble farm because that was the XP farm I had on there. And then eventually I made the Skellybum farm. Yeah, that was a cool ravine base. I'm very happy with how it turned out on that world. I'm very happy with my Across the 360 world. I don't have any farms. That's not true. I have the Enderman farm, and I have the natural spawning farm, but that one they just drop. I don't use any spawners. I do have a spawner at the Enderman farm, except that's not very useful because when I'm down below, I have to wait around for them to spawn naturally because I'm not close enough to the spawner to activate it. The urge to just take the shovel and go yeah to all the dirt around here. But no, I don't need dirt that badly. We're also gonna have to take care of one more lamp in the far corner. I did fix the arena. I haven't tried it though. I don't know where it currently sits. All the spawners and the spawn eggs were replaced, which means if something goes wrong, then it's a version thing, because the blocks themselves were cleaned. It does indeed sit in the pre-classic world, I think. I don't think it's in the 12A world. Yeah, it's currently in the 1 world. Okay, so there's the end. So now I have to walk all the way back. And I gotta say, I don't think I'm feeling it. So what we're gonna do, making sure that's soak touch, what we're gonna do is this. And now we're just gonna leave. I don't have the bed on me. I should have kept it with me, because look at all those green beans over there. Uh-oh, bad guy's approaching. Now I know it takes longer than 10 minutes to get over here. Hiya! Goodbye. Go away, please. Burn up. Is it you? Is it Mr. Zomble over here? We're about to go onto the roof, because that's a safe area. They don't spawn up there, for the most part. I want to say I only have 2 pre-classic worlds on here, to my knowledge. Because those are errors. The reason why I think I only have 2 pre-classic worlds is because 9A, I guess 10A as well, first full Minecraft release. That's what people consider the start of classic. Ow. I think 9A. Anyways, the version after the 2 pre-classic starts at the 11A from the launcher. I have some trees, but I don't know if those are trees that were generated in Classic, or if those are trees that were generated because of 627. Or sorry, 327. Can you stop lighting me on fire? Whoever said it was a low chance to set me on fire, you liar. It's feeling like half the time a zombie attacks on fire, I get set. I have the tree sanctuary in 14A. There are some 14A08 trees on there. There's some trees in the survival test area. The 15A world. I think the 15A world also has some over at the swamp. The 19A swamp. Alright, you gotta go. Hiya! Hooray, knockback. Something it's useful for. The thing with the shape, you can tell by the shape of the trees, but what if another tree generated right next to it? And therefore obstruct whether or not that was the original shape. Because the leaves came together. Because there were a bunch of non-14A trees in my tree sanctuary. Nom 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 nom. This is the part where I look around and see if I missed anything. So I'll need to take care of this next. In fact, what I'll probably just do is start putting the lamps here, since this will be fast. Maybe what I'll do is I'll have 4 individual rows where I have all of this taken care of. So this set of pillars and this set of skylights are from the one wire here. And then I'll have this set of skylights and this set of pillars be another row. Skylight, pillar. And then it'll be skylights and the farthest point here. I don't think I made any of the trees cubed. I can't see myself doing that. I don't appreciate cube trees that much. If I wanted cube trees, I'd rather play an official 14A. Between 14A and 14A07. Alright, so this one is right next to the pillar. So what I'll need to do now is open this up real fast. Excuse me. It's probably Griffin. Certainly wasn't me. So I'll open that up, and then I think I'll open this one up as well. You did that. You still have a Polyworld going? You haven't talked about one in a long time. I assume that was put on hold because you wanted to get to school. I feel like I could go one more over, but in order for this to line up, I'd have to use only skylights and pillars. Anyways, not important. So let me... all these mob drops I don't want. Hold on. How about we do the smart thing? Toss all the dirt. This can go here for now. Alrighty, so I did this one block next to the pillars, which means my next area is going to be this row. So this is 577. 577 and 597. I think 597, hold up. No, 566, 597. I was looking at the wrong numbers. No, 577. 566, 577. There we go. Okay, so then that means it's 566 to 589. Okay, I understand now. How much maintaining of any Minecraft world is there? All you do is play on it and do stuff. Is that considered maintenance? No, you know what, here, before I get back to digging, let me just go all the way to the end here. The farthest point that this one wire is going to have to be is a 566, 553, and then 566, 589. It's going to be one more in the middle. I might as well mark that now. 566, 565. Let me clean up my notepad real fast since there's a lot of stuff on here. So we're looking at 566, 566, and then 565. Oh, wait, hold on. I was looking at the wrong number. So this is indeed 553. This is indeed 577. So the farthest point, I should say, is 683. I was getting my axes mixed up on here. All right, so now I have the different numbers for where we're gonna put the wires. It's only 4, right? 1, 2. Oh wait, Skylight Plus. No, I guess because I will indeed need to include this one as well. Hold on. So it's gonna be 1 block from the edge here. So this is 541. All right, I know where the different wires go, so let me just mark this out real fast. Remove all that. Oh wait, no, keep that there. All right, I think I'm all good. Everything's all written down now. And I do not blame your willpower for going away once college started. Was the farthest point 541? That's another 30 blocks. Oh, look, there's stone. That means I don't have to worry about everything being dirt here. Oh, 541, that's right here. So this is, look up 541. So this goes forward a little bit. You know, hold on. Why would it be more difficult to set up Minecraft? You just don't have it at the ready. How far are we going? 683. Last point. I wonder what happens if I were to try to sleep down here. I think I'm gonna have to do this 3 more times after this tunnel is completed. because I'm now remembering how far of a travel distance. Oh, that's a cave. I'm now remembering how far of a travel distance this is. Let's just fill all that in. No, 0, 1, 2, 3. Nope, not that one. Oh, wait, no, 683, not 663. Ah, another 20 blocks. I don't expect an X-ray glitch just by sleeping. I'm pretty sure I might start suffocating. Or it'll, like, push me out of the bed. Howdy, potato. I have not, and oopsies, I have avoided those stories about cave divers because I think to myself, does this need to take up mental space? The answer is no. And I don't want to crawl back in a very literal sense. So what we're going to do is catch some Z's facing the Zella moon that we can't see behind this wall. Oh hey, nothing spawned. Coolio. Just kidding. I see 4 green beans. There's no good way to implement upside down shoes within Minecraft without using the custom model. Sounds like effort not worth doing. I'd have to replace something that has a small hitbox. Maybe I could do something like buttons. Lit with redstone lamps. Okay, I'm gonna not say something. Because I don't have to say anything. Let me just show you, what the floor currently looks like and everything currently in my inventory. And I'm not gonna say how far behind that thought process is. And I think I did not mean to do that. Alright, let's go back on the... What are we done? We have the first one and the last one. There's 3 in between. So let me go find the next coordinate I'm working at. Oh wait, 560. No, never mind, just kidding. 577. That's right here. Then we have to go all the way to 683 again. Oh, yep, we're making progress. This is going to be manual because I do not want to rely on the sunlight. I totally support my streams being utilized for background noise while doing schoolwork. But like earlier just this stream, I was talking about placing all the lamps in the floor. When I was working on the first tunnel, I should say. I'm out of torches. Alright, we're gonna keep crawling in darkness because it's not worth leaving the tunnel halfway. I'm just gonna go all the way to the end. Another 40 blocks to go. Crawling in tunnels a meter high is something I would likely not do in the real world. I started digging all the holes yesterday. I finished the holes earlier this stream, and then I made a bunch of lamps, and I wanted to complete the tunnels first before working on placing them in. And by some magic, I made it exactly to 683. Alright, I think we'll go make more torches now. I feel like the hardest part would be getting the map art. Let me toss all these mob drops I don't need. Alright, yep. Away we go as we head out to craft more torches, because the torch crafting never ends for me. I could always use more torches. Building a map with a single color isn't fun because each map is 128 by 128 minimum surface area. You'd have to fill in 2 by 2 chunks to get that. I think it's 128 and not 256. At least you'd only have to make each color once because you could duplicate maps. I think a cartographing table with extra paper. Nope. Oh, nom 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 nom. I'd like to sprint, please. And I didn't realize I already got up to level 45 from all that redstone I was digging earlier. I had a lot of redstone I needed to get because my dust was nearly out, and I needed 24 stacks of it to create all these lamps. I had plenty of glowstone, most of which I'm pretty sure came from 11W49A, but that's alright. So here's a question about what you mean by dynamic gradient, because I understand the color differences, but I don't know what application this gradient is for. Are you just talking about light? Because once they're all full bright, you could use the real light. No, wait, no, hold on, because it would be irrelevant of the light. You'd have to rely on different colors. Let's see how many sticks I have. I feel like I'm out. 22 is nearly out to me. Gradient dynamically changed using pistons to move the lamp. I think I might have to see this and what application this would be used for. Concept makes sense though. Alright, I have the torches. Was there anything else I needed? Alright, then yeah, you can send me the video later and that'll probably help me better understand. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Unrelated to the lamps, but I realized I think I wanted to mark out the little control area, the maintenance room. At least this first one. I don't know if I'll do other maintenance rooms. But I wanted cobblestone. I don't have a lot of cobblestone. I'll take the cobblestone I have. And then I guess some of the stone brick. Or some of the stone. I need to mark out the maintenance room to help me better understand how I can organize the internal area. Because I'm going to need another area that takes or that verifies if there's a input from the primary power station, which has not yet been established. I don't know where I'll hook that wire up, but I'm going to have one for the power input, and then I'll also need to make sure that that gets sent to a return signal. But as long as there is power coming in, I'm also going to need to utilize that with the signal controlling the lights themselves. So I'll be using an AND gate to make sure that there's power and that I have the local light switch on. It'll make sense once I get there. But for now, I just want to make all the tunnels, and then I could sort out how the redstone is utilized later. But I think I was talking about having the room be here. So that way these lamps will keep the place plenty bright. And so I just have to focus on the lamps will keep the room bright, and I'll just need to deal with the walls themselves. This is not going to go all the way to the ceiling. I'm probably going to have it stop here at the first cobblestone layer. And then I'll have the 2 strips of cobblestone, 1 plus 1 more for the ceiling. I don't know how I'll light this up, but seeing as there's a skylight here, I'm probably going to have to use another set of lights. In fact, if that is the skylight, then that means keep this one open. And so it's 3 blocks. Take up that one as well. So yeah, I'll figure out the lights for here later. But for the time being, I'll take advantage of the skylight. So we shall catch some Z's and reset the weather timer. And then we look around and realize, oh wait, how do we get in? I'll just knock. Oh wait, that's the back wall. Oops, I was looking at the wrong one. I'll just right here. There we go. So in that way, all the torches out here will still keep the outside bright, and so I don't need to place down any extra lamps. Alright, coolio. So yeah, now we have our maintenance room, at least the power maintenance area. So what I'll do, put away all the stuff I don't need. I might just leave this here, come back, fill it up some more later. In fact, if I keep working on in this area, why don't I just move these 2 shulker boxes inside? They're both empty, right? This one's not empty. This one has a bunch of redstone dust. What else is in here? Oh, it's just my redstone. Oops. I keep forgetting you can place those in any of the 6 directions. Alright, anyways, which tunnels have I completed? Digging a tunnel to the Farlands 2 blocks tall is already such a challenge. How far did you get on that world again? Alright, so that one was 577. The next one is 565. Oh wait, I ran out of torches in that first tunnel. I'll do that later. We're still at negative 62,000. For some reason, I was hoping you would at least get to negative 100,000. That would be a sizable accomplishment. But alas, only 62% of the way there. Oh, there's more stone. There used to be a mountain here. Or something. Another 30 blocks. Oi. The thing that I really have close to 100 blocks that needs to be mined in a straight line. That's a buzz. Think it's important? Let's find out. Once I get to the end, because I want to finish this tunnel, then I'll feel better. Oh, 83 right here. Oh, that was you. Alright, not important then. Alright, so that's four. Four of the tunnels are done, I believe. You know what that means, Potato? We are not the target audience. That's what it comes down to. I wish there was a way to crawl faster, but I don't know if we'll ever get that. Maybe I'm just used to InfDev Plus being able to sprint in any circumstances. I don't have much stained glass. I don't have much glass overall because I just spent a bunch of it on the Zelenako here. What's the next one? 553? I'd have to cook up many more blocks of glass. Hello. I see fish down there. Oh, let's not walk into the water. I already had to deal with that earlier, and I had difficulty getting out. Excuse me. Thank you. "80 blocks to go." If you're not sure at 62,000, you should totally hop back on and verify how far you've made. How far you've gone. The progress you've made. Two thoughts put together in one sentence. I hear a slime. I hear you up there, slime. One, two, three. Hooray! Probably should have done that before. That's alright. Oh, in fact, here, why don't I just... Alright, slime doesn't see me. Alright, I think now that all that's completed, just like what I was doing with the first tunnel, I'll be branching out from one, or from the primary path, out to the sides to take cover of the other stuff. Looking at this, though, I don't have to deal with the farthest points. I won't have to deal with the farthest lights, though, because these are all going to be taken care of by this one. Because I want the lights surrounding each of the pillars to be connected at the same areas. Oh wait, didn't I only dig one block though? Oops. I think that means I have to update the first tunnel. I believe glow frames were 1.17 along with glowing sacks and glow squid. Yeah, oops. Hopefully it won't take too long to update the tunnel here. I don't know if I'll be able to succeed based on redstone distances and all that, but I would like to keep each group of 4 together on the same pulse, the same redstone tick. Because I feel like it'd be a little weird having the lights turn on in a, or have different groups of lights turn on at different times. And I'm not going to try to time them to have a smooth gradient. That sounds like too much effort. I'll just have as minimal lamps as possible, or as minimal amount of repeaters as possible. I have no idea how map rendering and stained glass functions here in 1.14. Oop. Found signs of life on other stuff is the very same thing Koski was talking about earlier today. He was sharing the same news, it would appear. And it would take 1 to 2 years before we have conclusive results. I guess y'all both watch the same news. Or the same genre. I don't know if you consider news to have genres, but I couldn't think of a better term. Pretty big story. Oh, you're still here. You haven't said anything for a while. I didn't know if you went to go do other stuff. They filmed a colossal squid in the wild for the first time. That's interesting. I didn't know it was not filmed before. Okay, doing other stuff. I see. Oh wait, where's the bed? Why do I not have it on me? We gotta go. Aja. Alright, cool. Alright, who needs to be ejected from the premises? You know, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go up to the roof real fast. Let them just go away on their own. Man, what a sight to behold, and the lights aren't even all in place yet. Definitely adds more color, though, just having the lamps in here. Yeah, let me just run around a little bit. Watch them poof out of existence. And then we'll head back down. Why are you still alive? How have you not burned up yet? Natural knockback. Alright, who's next? Of course, all the green beans are still here. Let's think. Smartest one to try to take out first is this one. But yeah. Yeah, so far we are indeed looking at 1.2 and onward. I don't yet know how I'll do the shelves. Shelves might take advantage of barrels, but I don't know how. Never mind, barrels are absolutely cheaper because they use slabs. They still take 8 blocks, but it takes only 1 plank to produce 2 slabs. Therefore, each barrel is 1 plank cheaper than crafting a chest. Num 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 num. Alright, who's next? What do you mean by condensed storage more? Don't barrels function the same as singular chests, other than they don't connect? Oh, you don't need a block to open. I guess that makes sense. Chests do require non-solid blocks. I should say they cannot open underneath solid blocks, is a better way to describe it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna move all the dirt, the proper dirt, into here, since I keep picking up stuff that's not dirt. Oh, they are full blocks themselves. I better understand the usage now. I didn't think about that. Did I finish this row? I think I did. We're gonna hope I did. I guess I'll find out once I start putting the lamps down. Oopsies, get back here, please. 1, 2. Am I crazy, or how come I mine 5 blocks of dirt, but I only pick up 3? Is this just happening? Am I actually seeing what I think I'm seeing? Hello! I wasn't expecting to see that. I can understand the barrel usefulness. I'm not used to using them though. Part of that is we just got them here in 1.14 and I haven't played any survival 1.14 plus survival in a while. So yeah, 1, 2. So right here, we're at 10 blocks, right? And if I just do this. Nope, I got all 5 there. Maybe I'm going crazy. So we should be at 20 from this. I don't know. VR experiment, I certainly remember. My, what a time that was. That was totally fun though. I haven't played Minecraft in VR since then, I don't think. Maybe a little bit every now and then. I tried some of the Bedrock VR. I prefer Java, but that's just because it's Java. Although I will say Bedrock's performance is indeed a big upside for VR. I really only did 1 hour streams for VR. That makes sense. That was indeed tiring. There are still 2 hours. Someone's remembering incorrectly. They were tiring. That still holds true, whether they were 1 hour or 2. If you want quick verification, if you just go to my channel and search VR, the vast majority of the results are going to be VR experiment. It'd be cool if I could do some VR during my 10-hour stream, but we'll see. That might have to be early on, because I feel like I'm going to be getting, 3 hours into the stream and be like, I'm already tired, but there's still 7 hours to go. Between 50 minutes and 2:15. What did I do for 2:15? Was I just not paying attention to the time? How did that happen? I still aimed for 2 hours. What probably happened was I just didn't have fast access to the clock, so I didn't know what time it is. See, here on normal streams, I can just look to my right and I see, oh, it's been 1 hour and 42 minutes. But for VR, I'd have to open up the menu and find it. And I feel like nighttime might already be approaching. Oh, it's definitely approaching. Oh, this is where I ran out of torches. Oh, I did the math wrong. It's this one. Oh no, it's not approaching, just kidding. Let's fill that in because I'm gonna collect a bunch of dirt anyway. So I guess it's just this side that looks darker because it doesn't have skylight access. I probably could have worked on the floor before I worked on the ceiling, but that's alright. I don't think PlayStation 4, but I think PlayStation 5. I think you need PSVR 2. Unless I'm mistaken, and it does work with the regular PSVR. Maybe I'm thinking Pavlov. Pavlov VR is only PSVR 2. "30 minutes of dead stream in VR? Oh, how did that happen? The amount of non-stream stuff I've done during stream times. Other than, my Farlands journey, I did a lot of stuff not walking to the Farlands. The closest thing you can get to Legacy Console VR would be if you got, if you played the Legacy Console mod with Vivecraft. At that point, I feel like that would be more optimal since I don't even know how many Legacy Console mods there are. Okay, now it's definitely turning nighttime because these are the skylights. Maybe I should start keeping the bed on me, though. But I think we made it to the end. 1 and 2. Alright, away we go. Verify that everything is all lit up now. Everything from the left over to the right side of these pillars should have torches, or should have the lamps. I'll be placing all the dust after I place down the rest of the lamps. We only have 2 out of the 5 rows completed. Yeah, if the ceiling wasn't here, everything would instantly start cooking. Maybe I could just not worry about them. So this tunnel is complete. Was that my second tunnel or my third? I think that was only my second tunnel that's completed. Yeah, that one's now complete. Yep, on to 3. We are 40% done with the lamps. Yeah, how many lamps did I start out with? It was 6 stacks I made. I wonder if I'm going to need more lamps and I did my math wrong. Because if we're only at 40% of the lamps, we've used up 50% of the amount I had on me. I guess we'll find out when we get to the last row if I run out or not. I feel like 10% though is a rather large margin of error on this scale. I will say though, that last row, I had to place additional lamps for the farthest back wall, and I will not have to do the same for the lamps on the opposite wall. Who knows, maybe the math is going to hold out in the end. This is going by faster though, because everything is within reach of the central tunnel. I don't have to keep going all the way. Did I do it wrong? Oh, I did do it wrong because that was the first one. Shouldn't the sign turn on at night? I still haven't done that yet. I haven't figured out. But we'll get there when we do. Because, of course, I'm going to need a big, bright sign for the front of the building. Oh, an open sign? Does Costco ever close? For some reason, I feel like Costco would be one of those 24/7 stores. I don't know what Costco hours are. For all I know, they could be like 9 to 10 or like 7 to 10. Oops. Wait, did I really place 2? Huh. Okay. For some reason, why do I feel like my lamps were offset by 2? Or they were offset by 4. Why are they now offset by 2? Maybe they were always like that, and I just did not notice. I wonder if it's because I haven't yet filled in the two back corners yet. Oops. Double oops. I see the back wall. We're nearing the end. Party potato. I guess we'll find out just how many lamps I end up using when I get there. Maybe the reason why I used to be offset by 4 instead of 2 is because the back corner, I should say the farthest point on here, the farthest wall only has half pillars. That's not entirely true, because then wouldn't I have needed to place down the lamps on the front side as well? Those would counteract each other. This is the type of stuff I think about. Micro-optimization. This isn't even micro-optimization, this is just, it makes better when it lines up on 4, so I want to know why it's not on 4, it's on 2. All of my builds are rather simple, and most of them are early release compatible. That's just what I'm used to, playing old versions. One thing I don't use all too often is glass panes. My default mindset is, this needs to be a full block. Because glass panes being a beta 1.8 edition, I've played, I should say nowadays, I don't play as much survival that has glass panes, other than UMP. This is the newest version I've played in such a long time, and in fact, this is probably the most amount of time I've played 1.14 survival. Because 1.14 I think 0.2 was what I started my Magiri Yauka map in. And so that's creative. That whole world is a creative world. And so that's why I need to distinguish survival. So yeah, I was right. It was based on these two. And it looks like I put lamps in the corners already. Which means, yeah, I guess it is the 2 over here. Alright, we're almost done. That's only partially true. But that last row, we'll only have to put down 2 lamps per the wall, so that'll be more convenient. I feel like if I were to flip the lever from in here, it's going to be a little difficult to see all the lights turn on. Because if the lever does indeed remain there and I go click, I'm going to have to run out here to see all the gradient turn. It'll be a giant triangle, essentially, of light moving across the floor. I'll have to do it at nighttime, because I need to clearly see the light turning on, as opposed to all the skylight just washing out the regular redstone lamp light. And I've also looked at the time and see that OBS says we have about 5 minutes left. Okay, so that one's done. So tomorrow we should start getting the light in. I should say the redstone in. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to finish this tunnel, though, before the time runs out. We definitely won't be able to finish the next one. But we'll see how close to the end I am to see if I want to dedicate just a few more minutes. If it was Friday today, I would probably make sure that the row gets done. But I don't think that's necessary. Yeah, one thing I think I was saying, whoop. Oh, was that only the first one? Oopsies. One thing I was saying yesterday is that there are 7 1.14.4 pre-releases. So what that means is tomorrow is going to be 14.4 pre-1. That means next week is going to be pre-2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then the week after that, pre-7 and 1.14.4. I've done goofed, but that's okay because it's nighttime. I gotta sleep. Let's reset the weather timer. Alright, was that the first or was that the second lamp? So that was the first one because I ran out of space for the other two. Kind of tempted to go down here real fast and just pick up the dirt. In fact, while I'm here, how about I fill all this in? I think this will be faster than trying to risk it while down below. Oh, wait, I need another row. It still amazes me that for how strong Steve is, he can't breathe underwater for very long. Oh well. Alright, so that's all taken care of. I'll just drop the lamps real fast. Alright, back down below. Nope. Well, no, yeah, we got 2 minutes. I could get a little more done. I saw the time and thought, nope, late stream. Do 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 do. Which one was I on? The 4th row? 4 out of 5? It should be this one. I wonder if I save and quit, if the game's gonna remember that I'm in the crawling position. I wonder. OBS says 1.5 minutes. Therefore, no, it's not time. Man, turns out I went very far. At least it just feels like that based on all the crawling I'm doing. I did enter the correct tunnel, right? Oh, no, I did not enter the correct tunnel. That's totally my fault. I did not enter the correct tunnel. This was a 565. I was supposed to enter at 553. Oops. Alright, well, I just spent all that time already gone. So yeah, we are... 553 is this tunnel. And so it looks like I only made it to this point. Alright, well, that is indeed all it for the day. So we'll be back again. I almost said Monday, but no, it's still Thursday. I'll be back again Friday. And we'll wrap up more of this. So let me just put the dirt away, and then that'll be all it. Look at all that dirt I don't need. So yeah, we'll keep working more on the lights, and look forward to seeing how it turns out. Thank you all for watching. Bye.